I did want to talk more about my experience doing medical studies. On my last podcast, I actually um, sorry, I have a friend of mine.
You referred yourself as a guinea pig in that one, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm a human guinea pig.
More like a pincushion, though, isn't it?
Yes, and so yeah. So, anyways, with the medical studies, I've been doing it for since 2012. Some people they saw the last podcast. I didn't really get too much into it. We kind of went off on another rabbit trail, but there's people requesting to know more about it, and so basically, I wanted to explain to you guys more about the medical research and how I got started into it and basically how it all works. So here we go. Basically, what you do is you contact this place. I don't want to mention the name, and there's several of them all over the country. And you see what studies they have available. And when you find one you're interested in, you contact them, call them on the phone, and then you ask them about it. So I would call in and be like, "My name's Jason. I was interested in this study," and it'll say how many days it is, how many times you dose, what are the procedures, what the drug is for, what they're investigating for, and how much they pay. Most people obviously care more about how much the money payout is. So they don't really care about anything else other than that. So, for example, this last study I did, it was for 19 days. So I had to stay in house for 19 days and it paid me $5,400. That was brutal though, because 19 days stuck inside where you couldn't go outside. And the quarantine was going on. So I really wasn't missing out on anything. So, um,
So,
but when
so
you go in
my
there,
question is, what do you do when you're in there?
so when you get into the study, you you check in the morning. I do want. I'm kind of jumping ahead of myself. So after you get the phone call, you contact them, and if you qualify after they ask you the questions, my little light thing is about to fall down like I thought. Well, hopefully it stays up. I got this ghetto rigged diffuser over the light, and it looks like it's about to come down. So sorry, I'm so distracted. I got someone on the phone I was talking to about calling in, and now this light thing's peeling off. It's probably because it's heating up really bad, but hopefully it doesn't fall. So going back to that, sorry about all the distractions. It's so once you call them, go through the questions, find out how much it is, um, and then if you make it through, then they have you come in for a screening appointment. And once you make it into the screening appointment, they ask you more questions. They check your BMI. They also ask you more,
What's BMI?
like your body mass index, and mine kind of hangs around the 30-ish. So I barely make it in. I used to be able to make it in really easily, but so anyways, once you do that, then they do EKGs, ECG, and they do blood work. And after that, you wait to get a phone call
Have
and
you ever had an EGG while you're there?
EGG and egg. Yeah, I've had an egg. No, so then you wait to get the phone call. Then when you get the call saying whether you made it or not, they'll tell you when to check in if you made it. And usually it's in the morning, like 6 a.m. And they check your bags in. You go to your room. It's like basically they have a common area where there's a couch and TVs and stuff. And then it's like a hospital room with different hospital beds laid out. And you go in and you just you get your spot. You'll have your initials. They don't like put your full name out there. They just put your initials. Mine are JLM, so I'll find my bed that says JLM. Put my stuff under there. Get my scrubs on. Go back to do the procedures. They do urine and all that to check if you did drugs or something. Come in like smoking pot or whatever. Um, and then you kind of wait around until your results come back. And if you made it into the study, you basically don't know until the next day. Usually you dose on the next day, and you don't know if you made it in until like literally right before they dose people. So there's some studies I haven't made it in, but so you made it in, you dosed, they come through, and they do everything through military time, and they time it. Everything is like, I think, in 3-minute increments. So the first person ahead of you will go, and then they'll do 3 minutes later or 5 minutes, something like that. And then it'll go from there, and then they have the procedures. So you'll have, so someone dosed, then you'll have someone come through with the ECG machine, and they stagger that down the line, and then they'll have someone come in with the blood pressure, and they'll go down the line, and then that's just basically how they do everything. And then when you eat basically hospital food, so all that's timed. You have to be in the cafeteria and take your first bite at 1400, whatever the time may be, and you have to wait. So once they tell you you can take your first bite, then that's when you do it. So that's the medical research. And so you basically stay there the whole time. When you're done, you check out. In about a couple hours, they load the money on your card. They give you half of it, and then they give you the other portion after you're done with follow-up visits. So most studies have outpatient visits. Some they do not. And so this last one I didn't, but they wait until the study's completely over. After you're done with all your outpatient visits, all your blood work has been collected, and you're good to go. And then they load the rest of the money, usually like 2 or 3 days later. So, but there's people that do it for a living, and they travel all over the place. And some people don't do it the way you're supposed to, because you're supposed to only do every 30 days. You got to wait 30 days before you can do another study. And unfortunately, there's so many people that just they'll jump from one study, $6,000, go to another state, jump on another study. But basically how they try to combat that is some facilities use this program called VCT. I cannot remember volunteer something. But the system is like a program that your social security number goes into. And if you had done a study somewhere, all it says is that you did a study and the date that you did it. It doesn't say anything else. It doesn't say where. And so it keeps people from double studying, like jumping from one study. Not all of them do, so they just go to the ones that don't have VCT. And so anyways, it's a big business. People make thousands of dollars doing it. And like I said before, I get a crazy amount of hatred towards this, but I just kind of deal with it. It's a part of the beast. People don't understand it, and they don't think it's a good way to make a living, risking your body. But everybody's got their opinions and stuff, so I just have to deal with it. It comes with it. So of course not everybody's going to agree with that. So, but yeah, that's the medical research studies. I did have, let's see here. I actually got let's see here. Is there anything you wanted to say about, have you ever thought about doing a medical study?
Numerous years ago, back in Kalamazoo.
Michigan?
Mm-hmm. That's all I just thought.
You thought about doing a study then?
Yep.
Wow. Well, you heard it from the man himself. In Kalamazoo, Michigan, he thought about. I don't even think there's research facilities there.
Yeah, there's a big pharmaceutical company there.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna bring on a friend of mine.
Hello.
Hey Randy, what's up, man? I
Hey,
got
man,
you.
how are you?
I got you live on the podcast.
Great.
The timing was perfect.
Excited to do this.
I was a little distracted because I was trying to talk about uh, the medical studies, and I was trying to communicate with you at the same time, and so
Oh, yeah.
I'm like stuttering, and people are like, "What the heck's up with this dude?" And then my diffuser light is the tape. I taped it to the ceiling, and it's starting to come down, and so I'm like
Oh, no.
so distracted. But anyways, I got you on.
That's
This is
funny.
my buddy Randy. I actually met him in a medical study, and I walked them through like how it all starts from the start to beginning to the end. And so, what is your take on medical studies? Do you get a lot of hate from it?
Well, it's definitely very interesting, the people you meet there, to say the least. I like it. I mean, I don't think it's that bad. I think, we're doing something great, helping people out with, different diseases and, what may just, different things in life and that they go through, whether it be cystic fibrosis. I did a study for that one time. Did a breast cancer drug that didn't go very well.
Did you get breast cancer?
No, no.
People do that to me.
That's
yeah,
actually
that one
good.
yeah, that one is pretty bad. It actually affected my moods a lot, and so that was really interesting. I actually got to stay for the whole study, but they quit dosing me on like the second or third day.
Oh my God, dude!
And
You're not helping my case
thing.
here.
Right. But I've done like 8 studies and I've never had an issue. That was the only one, and so.
Right.
But for the most part, the side effects you usually have are probably just like headaches if you get that, but it's not bad. Not bad at all. It's good.
Did you start lactating?
I did.
Okay.
That was one thing I
think I'm going to stop doing studies.
Yeah. So, okay. Conversation over.
No, that's funny, man. No, that's funny. No, it doesn't happen. I mean, of course, any drug you take, and they tell you this there, you could possibly have side effects.
Right.
You can get it from Tylenol or whatever, but it is more risky when you're doing an unknown drug that's never been investigated before. But like you were saying, the thing I like, other than the money that you make, of course, is I love the people that I met. I mean, I would have never met you probably if I wouldn't have done that study.
Yeah. You told me it was the food.
The food, yeah, right. Dude, the food sucks.
Yeah, that's another good thing about those studies. They cater in this wonderful gourmet food. It's just, you just can't beat it. I mean,
he is lying through his teeth. Man, that disgust. You remember that nasty? What is that? That chicken and grape. It's got like chicken, grape. It's a chicken salad with grapes in it.
The chicken salad. That's actually my favorite meal.
Oh, it's so gross, dude.